Johnny581 back with another episode of Holes and Hunts. So to get started, we got some video games from Manhattan, New York City. I was down visiting some friends and family, and there's a really great retro gaming shop on St. Mark's Place called 8-Bit and Up. I highly recommend it if you're down there. It's right near St. Mark's Comics, which I also recommend if you've never been there before. It's one of the few remaining old school classic style comic shops for the most part. So anyway, got here is a really screwed up copy of Indiana Jones for the N64, which was a Blockbuster exclusive game. Every copy I find the label screwed up in some fashion. This one's probably the worst copy I've seen, but the price was right, so I couldn't turn it down. Still got the Blockbuster sticker. It's pretty dirty. The owner assured me that it does work, and I do believe him. Just a lousy copy. I also picked up to continue the boxed wrestling game streak that I've been on and will hopefully continue to be on. We got WCW World Championship Wrestling for the Nintendo. This game is horrible. It's virtually unplayable. Even back then, it was just not a good game. But it's got a great roster. It truly does. The cover's awesome because you got the Road Warriors on here, and what's funny, they were featured on the box and all the ads, which ran in tons of comic books when this game came out. But by the time the game really started to come out, they already left WCW, NWA, whatever you want to call it, and were the Legion of Doom and the WWF. But yeah, the game really bad. The box could be in better shape, but I couldn't pass it up. It's got, let's see, Rick Steiner, Sting, Luger, Steamboat, Flair, LOD. I know there's some other guys in here, but it's just a bad game. But it has its fun nostalgia factor. So the box is dinged up. I think this did have, yeah, the booklet is in here. The original sleeve is in here. I'm not taking it out because the box is kind of weathered. So anyway, the price, the shop wanted $5 for this. They had a very clean copy, but they wanted $25, which I thought was too much. I've seen it for less, even though the one that they had for $25 was in pristine condition. And I inquired how much this was, and they said $20, and I thought even that was a little too much. It's a beat-up box. It's not a good game. But I really wanted it because I've never seen a boxed copy since it originally came out. And the shop said it was just $20 for both, so $5 for Indie and $15 for WCW. Not bad. As LC suggested, and definitely check out his channel, I could just probably print up on some sticky paper, a nice label, and slap it on here and be almost as good as new. So I'll take it. It's a copy to have until I find a better copy. It's not the easiest game to find. Next up, from Goodwill for $2.99. This is actually the first Xbox game I've ever purchased. I don't have a 360, and the Xbox I do have is pretty much an emulator machine that's, I'm not a big fan of Microsoft video game systems. Anybody who knows me tell you that. But there's one thing I always wanted. It's right here, Jet Set Radio Future. I love Jet Ryan Radio, Jet Set Radio, whatever you want to call it, on the Dreamcast. And I know this, I'm pretty sure it came packaged with the system with Sega GT 2002 and Jet Set Radio Future. But I didn't want an Xbox. I had no interest in it. And I didn't get the model I do have now until well after the fact. I still have no interest in pretty much any game that's on here because the first party titles never truly appealed to me, and the other ones, you could get them on the PlayStation or elsewhere. But Sega did make Jet Set Radio Future on here, and it's only $3. We got the disc with both games on it. Got both booklets. It was at Goodwill just laying there. It was the only video game they had, and I couldn't pass it up, so now I get the game I wanted to play, and I do fully intend to play this. I know it's a worthless pack-in game, but two solid Sega games and one that I was really looking forward to, so I am very happy. There go some games on the floor. Okay. Up next we have some booklets I picked up at Coast City Comics in Portland, Maine. And every so often they have a bin full of game manuals for various systems, and they are priced accordingly. Here's Donkey Kong Country 2. I paid $3 for it. I just picked up the game recently for $4, so $7 total for a game and booklet. Not too bad. They had a box too, but the box they wanted a lot more money for, and they couldn't rationalize it. But the booklet in the game, I like that, because at least the booklet you have part of it to make it more complete, because the box is just the icing on the cake. The booklet, I feel like, you kind of should have. $1, the original Back to the Future. Bad game, but I did pick it up in that crazy tub of 110 games, and the booklet for $1 is not going to pass up. Up next, for Super Nintendo, Yoshi's Safari booklet was only $1. I recently had picked this up for the game for $2, so $3 for game and booklet, not going to complain. So I'll be spot checking them for some more missing manuals. Alright, next up, check out LC video channel for his portion of it, but we just hit up, depending on when this airs, his came up immediately. Mine, I'm pretty behind right now, so who knows when this will actually be uploaded. Went to a garage sale in Long Island, New York, and it was strictly video games, and these guys had a lot. They really truly did, but they were resellers. They more or less admitted how they get their games, and they just go picking and grab all the best from all the thrift shops or flea markets or however, and then they raise the prices. But in all honesty, their prices were fair. They were a little bit cheaper than eBay, and it was right in front of you, no shipping. They had tubs and tubs and totes of games. I definitely want to go back there. You go to a garage sale, you think you're paying $2, $3 a game. You're not. And they were nice guys, and their prices were fair. It's just you get so spoiled going to flea markets and thrift stores and pawn shops that you forget that if you were in the other shoes, you'd probably want to sell the game for the same price. So what I have here, I spent 65 bucks on, and there's one more item in my car right now that I forgot to bring in, and it's pouring, so I'm not going back out. So we'll save that for another video. But we'll call this pile the $60 pile then, because the other thing was priced at $5. Got Lego Racers for the N64. It was on, the way they broke it down. This game was one of their $5 games, so I had to wheel and deal a little bit, but they weren't budging as much as you would expect. So I won't go into the individual prices. We'll just look at it as a $60 pile. So we got Lego Racers, very clean copy. Pokemon Stadium 1, no name written on the slot. Another very clean copy. They had really good product. N64, Resident Evil 2, the only Resident Evil on the N64, which I couldn't figure out. I'm guessing Capcom didn't have a jump for Part 1, then Part 2 didn't sell too well in here, so they never bothered putting the rest out. But I always wanted to just kind of round out the N64 collection. I think the better version's on the GameCube anyway, so happy to find that. Super Nintendo, we got Disney's Magical Quest, starring Mickey Mouse. This is a cool Capcom Disney game. Almost every Capcom Disney game I would say that about, in all fairness. Very clean copy, except for PVT, which I'm guessing is someone's initials. From the front, very nice. Stickers clean, top's clean. Most important to me. Then we had a pile of booklets. They had actually boxes of booklets, and I was going through them trying to find games that I picked up either recently or for whatever reason I never had the booklet because I got them secondhand. Still don't have the game because I wanted too much and it was there. I have it on the Dreamcast, so I wasn't dying, but $1 each for these booklets. Mortal Kombat Trilogy, very good shape. Diddy Kong Racing, great game. Now I have the booklet. Got Glover, interesting game for the N64 when you're playing as the glove in a platformer-ish game. So these booklets were all in great shape. Got Mission Impossible for N64, Extreme G2. I'm sorry, whoops. Oh well, I'm a dope. Well, I don't have the Turok games because I was never too fond of them, but I picked up the pile backwards and I didn't see the look for, and I thought I got the booklet for Extreme G2, which I do have, and I love the Extreme G series, which they make a new one. But it's Turok 2 Seeds of Evil booklet, which, that's fine, it's still a great condition. Wave Race 64 booklet, Star Fox 64, and Namco Museum 64. There's a Namco Museum on every system multiple times. Getting to the NES, they had a lot of good games, but they wanted what they wanted for them. So I just took Mega Man 3 as a very clean copy. as you can see. So maybe the least valuable in the Mega Man series, but I didn't have an original of this. I had the Mega Man collection for the GameCube, and there's always the ROMs floating around out there, but I never actually had the original cartridge, so now I do. Moving back to Super Nintendo, we got F-Zero, one of the very first Super Nintendo games to come out, and this is a box copy. I'm not going to open it up because I always seem to do more damage when I do. Got the cartridge and the booklet in here. Very, very, very good shape. I like this game a lot. I like the whole series. I really hope the Wii U has a new one. It's one of those Nintendo franchises that could go a long way, and for some reason there was nothing on the Wii. Don't know why. And there's actually nothing on the DS either, so it really skipped a generation. I guess the GameCube one was the last one, which is another good game. So I was happy with this. And I was excited when I saw Mickey Mania, but then I opened it up, and now I can't open it. All it was in here was the booklet and the warranty card, or whatever is in here. There's no game. So they pretty much just kind of gave it to me. Now I just have to find a loose copy, and I'll have a nice box copy. It's a good game, I just wish I could find it. Alright, so that was the video game end, and I picked up some vinyl albums at Goodwill. I do that from time to time. I'm not really a record collector, as I've stated before, but when they're a buck each in good condition, I don't pass them up. It's a band I have some connection to. Soft Cell, this is The Art of Falling Apart. You know, they had a couple hits like Tainted Love and Where Did Our Love Go, but the only reason that this caught my eye is that this had an extra album in it, and the sticker here said Jimi Hendrix medley, and I like Jimi Hendrix music, so I was curious to see how they interpreted it. I don't know any other songs on here, but it was a great copy of the full insert. And what I found odd, I guess because it was just a promotional copy, the bonus album is just in a plastic bag. I don't know if that's how it originally came or not, but that's what I ended up with. So, yeah, I don't know. It says limited edition up top here on the sticker, and here promotional use only. I'm not overly familiar with the band. I just know they have a few big hits. I don't know. We'll give it a listen eventually. Now we have a more familiar vinyl album. We got the Eagles, The Long Run, also $1. This is in great shape. And see, like everything's still here. Got the shot of the band. Can't fit it all because I'm using the onboard camera. But so we still got the original inside. This is very, very crisp. Very crisp. Look at the siding. Biggest hit on here, at least my favorite song on here, is In the City, which we all know from the ending of The Warriors. Great movie. If you haven't watched it, do yourself a favor and watch it immediately. Just a great fun movie. Very, very great movie. Big cult classic. A lot of flaws in the movie, but as a whole, it's still just a great movie. We got the Blue Oyster Cult, and this is Fire of Unknown Origin. So what is on here? I don't even know, to be funny. Like I just grabbed it because it looked in great shape. I like Blue Oyster Cult, but I'm not so familiar with all their albums. I don't know what's on here. I'm sure it's got some good tracks, but it doesn't seem to have any of the really big singles. The inside, which I'm not going to take out all the way, is here with the artwork. Gotta love it. And finally, also from Goodwill for $1, got David Gilmour of Pink Floyd, one of his solo albums, About Face. Very good shape. A little wear over here, but still very good shape. Just give it a whirl. Not too familiar with his solo albums. Obviously, Pink Floyd's Pink Floyd. I don't know what he brought to the table here. I've seen solo concert performances of him, but I don't know the actual solo material. Anyway, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Please rate, subscribe, like, tell your friends, and keep on watching. Check out my other videos. Hope you're enjoying these. Thank you again for your support.